coronavirus make you think of anything?
I think it
No,
will
louder.
give the planet a nice break. Less emissions.
Do you want to say anything? Anything?
I think it'll make us appreciate seeing our friends a lot more. Yeah.
It's God's way of telling people that they're not taking global warming seriously. And this is a kick in the slats for people to understand, and it's going to reorganize society.
In the world?
Or just like any thoughts the virus creates?
It's very ominous. It's very ominous. It feels like everyone is waiting for something bigger to happen. And we don't quite know what it's going to be or what the world will look like when it is over, which is a weird feeling to grapple with. Yeah, it's strange. It's just strange. Yeah.
Our priorities since industrialization in terms of capitalism and how we're really not structured as a society to deal with these sort of things, and I think it'll forever change the way we view social interactions, as well as it'll lead to a further concentration of wealth and income disparity in the world. I hope we can pull through it, but I have my doubts. Yeah?
What's your doubt?
I think Canada is in a slightly better position than potentially our southern neighbors, but I think what this will really showcase is the failings of a privatized health system in the United States. I don't think they're prepared to cope with it, and I don't think Americans have a mentality to take orders from their government. So we're closing the borders. I think that's the right step to tourism and to non-trade traffic. But the Americans influence global economics, and a fall of an empire would be the fall of the fall of everything, right? As far as what we've built in the last couple centuries. Yeah.
Yeah, we're early in the beginning of this, so it's gonna be like this for quite a while. It's gonna get worse, but just gotta have hope. Really, that's it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, so yeah, it's rough, but what can you do?
Makes me think. I think these streets are empty, and it's so much fun riding my bike around. It's amazing. Empty streets are so much safer. So that's what I think about the coronavirus.
Does the coronavirus make you think of anything?
Just the uncertainty that's happening right now. So, all the stores are shut, and a lot of restaurants and things like that. Schools are closed down. So, just how long it's going to last is a concern. For my health, I'm not so worried, but I have older parents that I'm concerned about. So, just want to make sure that I'm safe for them. That's about it.
Well, what I was saying, I don't know, I just feel like in the server industry, it's harder because you don't live off of your paycheck, right? You live off of your tips. So tips is like you're used to living this lifestyle, and then all of a sudden we've all been laid off. Like some of us have apartments. Our rent is like $22,100 a month, but because we're making such amazing tips, but now we're all laid off and all we have to live off of is our EI, and it's like, well, Like, how is that going to be enough when we make $12.20 an hour? Like, no server lives by their hourly wage.
But the government might bring in a moratorium to make landlords no evictions. They will help out.
I mean, we can only hope for that, right? Because you never really know. This thing is, this is like something out of a movie. Like, who would have thought the whole world this whole pandemic would happen? Like, it's just literally something out of a movie. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
We weren't expecting it.
We were not expecting this.
Because a lot of my friends work in the restaurant industry, and so I'm watching a lot of my friends really struggle to survive, I guess. I mean, not yet, because it's only been a few days, but like a lot of them have lost their jobs for some indeterminate amount of time, and so I guess I worry about them, because it's like, how are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to live if you can't make money right now? And so since we don't know when the quarantine is going to end, it's a little bit scary, because it's like, how long are we going to have to live this way? I guess that's what it makes me think about.
I mean, I think it's not really been a big change for me, or even like necessarily more worry than usual. Like, I already have anxiety and OCD, so I've already been, I already worry about my contact with other people. I'm immunocompromised, so I already worry about getting sick. And I already don't leave my house that much, so it's kind of just been business as usual, except the world is also conducting business on my terms, which is definitely weird, but not too scary, I guess.
I was worried about my grandmother. She's like 85, so I was freaked out about that for a few days, but now I'm just trying to accept it and do what I can. Yeah.
What do coronavirus make you think?
Right now, just being precautious. I have diabetes, type 1, so just making sure that I stay away from large gatherings and, not trying to panic or anything like that, and live my normal life.
Make you think of anything?
I think at this moment, if anything, the coronavirus makes me think about how important it is for community and calmness and caring for each other at a time like this. So I hope that self-isolation can still be a positive thing if we can learn to take a moment and breathe and not panic at this time. Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yeah, I think social media could be a problem, because social media could make people, bring in the hysteria and make people think that things are worse than what they are. But I truly believe that our government, will do whatever is best for us as citizens. But I think some of the mainstream media can take things and twist things and can do damage to the public and scare them, and that's what bothers me. Hopefully the public can be more objective and make the right decisions, and hopefully trust our government that they will make the right decisions for us. My biggest fear would be that if there is a really increase in the number of people with the virus and they really get sick, it would be a shame to see the young and the old and anybody die because of no ventilator, no thing to help them breathe. I guess it's called a ventilator. Yes, that would be very, very sad.